It's almost 3 a.m. in Shermans Dale, Pennsylvania. You step outside for a quick cigarette when a blinding white spotlight explodes out of the dark woods beside your house. The light is unnaturally bright, like a spotlight from the trees themselves. Then you hear it, a steady, rhythmic clicking sound cutting through the silence. Your stomach drops. 4 days earlier, your son had his own terrifying encounter and vanished for several hours with no memory of where he went. The clicking grows louder. An overwhelming sense of dread washes over you. Something is in those woods, and it knows you're there.
May 7th, 2025. A quiet rural home in Shermans Dale. Just another normal night. Until it wasn't. Earlier that evening, everything was ordinary. Dinner with the family, helping your autistic son, the usual routine. Then you stepped outside. The beam didn't move like a flashlight or car headlights. It stayed locked on you, powerful, focused, and completely silent, except for that constant clicking. 4 days before, your son had gone into the yard and simply disappeared for hours. When he returned, he had no idea where he'd been.
That memory flooded back as the light pinned you in place. Heart pounding, you backed toward the door, never turning away from the woods. You rushed inside, locked every door and window, and prayed whatever was out there wouldn't follow. But the clicking, you could still hear it in your head. Inside the house, your hands were still shaking. You checked on your son sleeping in his room. He was safe, for now. But the dread from the woods wouldn't leave you. The next morning, you told your family what happened. The beam, the clicking, the overwhelming fear. They believed you because they remembered what happened to your son just days earlier. Your son's disappearance 4 days earlier was unlike anything you'd seen. He walked into the yard and was simply gone for several hours with no memory of where he had been. When he finally returned, he was confused and exhausted. No explanation, no tracks, just missing time and a story that still sends chills down your spine. These weren't random events. The blinding light, the clicking sounds, the missing time, they were connected. Something in those Pennsylvania woods was targeting your family. You decided to report what happened, not expecting answers, but needing someone to know. The encounter was too real to keep silent.
The report detailed everything: the intense spotlight from the trees, the clicking that seemed to come from everywhere, and the crushing feeling of being watched. Similar strange lights and missing time cases have been quietly reported across central Pennsylvania in recent years, but few are as personal as this. Whatever was in those woods didn't just shine a light. It felt intelligent, like it was studying you, and had already taken your son for hours. Even weeks later, you still avoid going outside after dark. The woods behind your house no longer feel empty. Something is still out there, waiting.
Central Pennsylvania has a long, quiet history of strange lights in the woods. But this case hit different. It wasn't just lights. It was personal. It came for your family. Your son still doesn't remember what happened during those missing hours, but sometimes he wakes up at night, staring out the window toward the woods with a distant look in his eyes. You've replayed that night 1,000 times. The beam didn't feel like a searchlight. It
felt targeted, like something was scanning you, deciding what to do next. Neighbors in Shermans Dale have started talking quietly. A few have seen similar lights. Others have heard the same clicking sounds echoing through the trees at night. But no one wants to speak too loudly. Rural Pennsylvania doesn't take kindly to alien stories, so the encounters stay hidden, just like whatever is in those woods. You've installed motion lights and security cameras since that night, but deep down, you know technology won't stop something that can appear out of nowhere and take hours from your life. The clicking sound still haunts your dreams. Sometimes you wake up convinced you can still hear it, right outside the bedroom window. Was it an abduction attempt on you? A continuation of what they started with your son? Or just a warning? The not knowing might be the worst part.
Whatever came out of those woods that May night knew exactly where you were, and it still feels like it's watching, waiting for the right moment to return. Your family now lives with a new reality, one where the woods behind your home might not belong to you anymore. Missing time cases like your son's are among the most disturbing in ufology. Hours stolen from your life with no memory, only the lingering feeling that something took you. You've become hyper-aware of every sound after dark, every branch snapping, every shadow moving. The woods feel alive now, and not in a good way. Some researchers believe these encounters involve non-human intelligence studying families, especially those with autistic children. But why? No one has real answers. Your son has started drawing strange symbols and lights in his notebook. Images, he says, come to him in dreams, things he couldn't possibly know. The beam you saw wasn't random. It felt purposeful, like it was testing your reaction, deciding whether to take you the same way it took him. Nights in Shermans Dale feel different now. The quiet isn't peaceful anymore. It's watchful, heavy, like the woods are holding their breath. You still step outside for cigarettes, but never alone. Never after 11 p.m., and you always keep one eye on the tree line. Whatever visited your family left no physical evidence, no footprints, no marks on the ground, just fear, and the knowledge that it can return any time it wants. Imagine something so advanced it can steal hours from your life and walk through light like a doorway. And right now, it might be watching your house. The Shermans Dale light didn't just shine on that family. It exposed something much bigger, the terrifying possibility that we are never truly alone, even in our own backyard. The beam didn't leave burn marks or radiation. It left something far worse, the unshakable knowledge that your family had been chosen, and it could return at any time. Months later, the family still lives in the same house, but nothing feels the same. Every trip outside after sunset is now a calculated risk. Was it an abduction attempt, a warning, or just the beginning of something much larger? The clicking has stopped, for now. The next time you wake up at 3 a.m. and feel the urge to step outside, remember this, family, because sometimes the light finds you first. The Shermans Dale incident remains completely unexplained. No official answers, no closure. Just a mother, her son, and the terrifying realization that something out there is still watching.
What would you do if a blinding light came out of the woods and took hours from your child? Drop your theories in the comments. Have you ever experienced missing time? If you want more real, lesser-known encounter stories, like and subscribe to Zone 6 Broadcast. Turn on notifications, and maybe think twice before stepping outside after dark. Stay safe out there.